Alright, today's Sunday, November 4th, 2018. Ran out of 400 grit sandpaper, so we're changing up a little bit and we're cutting these back springs. So I looked at some old pictures and videos I had of this car, some of the first ones, and I think it became apparent that the powder coater must have swapped my coils out. I don't think he did it on purpose, but I've torn plenty of X-frames apart, and I've never had to use a spring compressor in the back. You can usually teeter-totter the rear end and get the springs in there. Take the shocks off and teeter-totter the rear end. That wasn't the case with this. I had to use a spring compressor to get them in there, and then set the body on, and then put the shocks on, and it was stiff. There was no kind of movement. It's like the car was in a bind, like locked up. So something wasn't right. So I just got these coils out right now. I bought this spring compressor on eBay. I think it was like under $20. You can rent them at Napa or any auto parts. It's a strut spring compressor. You can rent them for free. Napa sells this tool for $85. That's mind-blowing, because I got it shipped to the house for under $20. So all it does is this goes under the coil like that, and then this tab pushes in over it, and that kind of locks it in place. So you do that for both of these, put one on each side, and then I used 21 millimeter. I don't think it was the right size, but it was close enough. And then it compresses, it squashes it, one on each side, and then the spring just came out. So I'm going to cut these right there, and it's going to give 15-inch overall, and I think that might do the trick. Might be a little lower than it's supposed to, but that's okay. I'm used to that. So that's what's going on today. Once I get that done, I could put the shocks on, put the pan hard, tighten everything down, drive shaft, because like I say, none of this stuff would line up previously because the coils were just way too tall. So stay tuned. Alright, still Sunday. I chopped down the back springs. That went really easy. I cut them with a DeWalt chop saw, abrasive wheel chop saw. Take like 10 seconds. So I pushed this thing out and washed it because it's getting a little dusty and stuff. But that's a wrap on the chassis. Everything in the back fell into place exactly as it should. I don't know why I forced them springs in. In hindsight, that was a waste of time, and I should have known better. But this is much better. It's sitting more like it should, and like I say, with the frame up on the lift, the springs you just fall right in, and then the shocks bolted up, no problem, no strain. Banana bar bolted up, pan hard bar bolted up, and has a little bit of movement now. But that's about it. So I'm just going to do a quick walk around here for documentation purposes. So the chassis was sandblasted and powder coated black, the whole Rollin chassis, disassembled. It's got all new bushings, ball joints. It's got four-wheel disc brake kit, stock rear end, all new gas and brake lines, front to back. E-brake cables, all new front to back. Drive shaft, new U-joints, new shocks. Brake hoses, ball joints, bushings. It's got the new tie rods, idler arm, new pitman arm. It's got the CPP 500 series gearbox. Bump stops new, bushings. Like I say, bushings, ball joints, all that is new. So next up is some form of drivetrain. I'm thinking crate motor. It's just a matter of coming up with the cash. I don't think I'm going to rebuild the 283. I think it's kind of a waste of time, since the car is going to look original, but it's not an original restoration. So I think putting money into the 283, and I just think, just not really feeling it. I'll keep it tucked away in the corner though. That's a wrap for the chassis. Sandpaper should be here on Wednesday, 400 grit, so we're going to continue blocking down the car, and we're still on track to have it painted the week of Thanksgiving. So I took the week off from work, and it's plenty of time to get this shop cleaned out, pressure wash it all down, clean the floor. The last couple cars I painted in here, I built a kind of a paint booth out of plastic sheeting and kind of just make a paint booth. But a lot of this stuff gets moved out. I want the cleanest environment possible. But it's going down in a couple weeks. Stay tuned.